Well, let's talk about somebody that we actually haven't talked about in quite a while, but Tom Girardi has been indicted by a federal grand jury for allegedly embezzling more than $15 million from several of his legal clients. They just announced this recently. So he is charged with 5 counts of wire fraud, a crime that carries a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison. As we know, he was once a pretty powerful figure in California's legal system until they forced his law firm into bankruptcy in December of 2020. He is expected to appear in court on Monday, February 6th at the United States District Court for arraignment. Of course, he was disbarred back in July of 2022. Now, also charged in this indictment is Christopher Camon. He was the controller and chief financial officer of Girardi Keys from 2004 to December of 2020. He oversaw the law firm's financial affairs, supervised its accounting department, and oversaw paying the firm's expenses. It alleges that from 2010 to 2020, the two of them fraudulently obtained more than $15 million that belonged to Girardi Keys clients. So what does this mean for Tom? You know, he has been battling Alzheimer's. And so does that play into anything? I'm surprised. I mean, do we even think that he's going to be making the physical appearance in court come Monday?
Finally, Christina, this is something that we've really been expecting for a while. I mean, California State Bar received hundreds of complaints about Girardi, but because he had such a cozy relationship with politicians and members of the bar here in California, they didn't act on it. They didn't act on it for years, and a lot of clients lost a lot of money. So we as lawyers and former prosecutors and civil attorneys here in California are saying, what's taken so long? So finally, the Department of Justice stepped up where the State Bar didn't and went to the grand jury and got an indictment. And because of the amount of the fraud, and it was probably just the tip of the iceberg, Girardi is looking at a lot of time in federal prison, and he's older. And, you know, this isn't someone that can do 5, 10, 15, 20 years in prison, and he's in poor health. So I expect his attorneys to argue that he is not competent to stand trial. And really the standard is he able to help his lawyers in his defense? And if not, he may be held to be temporarily incompetent to stand trial. So we're going to see it. There's going to be doctors. They're going to be examining Tom Girardi, and they're going to have to prepare a report and say, is he physically and mentally fit to stand trial?
Yeah, that'll be definitely very interesting. So if he's not fit to stand trial, then kind of what happens? Does this just go away? How do the victims get any of this money back? Will they ever see any of this money?
Yeah, so obviously Tom Girardi and his firm, and they filed bankruptcy. There's been lawsuits against Tom and Erika Jayne where people have tried to get money, but I don't think they will. I mean, a lot of this money has been spent. I think to the extent that the victims do recover, they're probably getting pennies on the dollar. Now, with respect to the competence, someone can be held temporarily incompetent, but then what the court and the doctors will do is maybe put them on some sort of medication, try to restore them to competency. It's not a get out of jail free.
Right.
It's something that the courts and the judge in the case will follow to see if and when Tom Girardi will be restored to competence, because that's the ultimate goal, for him to become competent so he can sit with his lawyers before a judge and jury and stand trial.
Is it interesting that more people weren't charged in this, or do you think that these were just the two people that were involved? Obviously, Erika Jayne's name has been, Erika Girardi's name has been thrown around for so many years now as well in all this. So does this clear her from everything?
I don't think so. This may just be the first shoe to drop. Obviously, we all believe that Tom Girardi is the most culpable, but I mean, he had a relationship with a lot of people. He had a large law firm. And the question is, did other people help participate in this fraud? Who else benefited from the tens of millions of dollars that were stolen? And not stolen from anyone. These were victims who lost a family member as a wrongful death claim, or who were seriously injured. They've already suffered, a horrendous event, and then what happens? Their lawyer steals from them. So these are very vulnerable victims. There may have been others who participated in this really elaborate fraud scheme. So there may be other criminal charges coming forward as well.
Right. Do you foresee this being a long trial process?
I think so. I mean, obviously Tom Girardi is a lawyer.
Right.
So he knows our civil and criminal justice system. He has access to lawyers, and I expect, just like there's been such a long delay, for his lawyers to continue to try to delay this case, whether it's through competency or some other ground. So it's really kind of a question of not when, but if Tom Girardi will be forced to stand trial.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.